Hey, my vault dwellers. Have you ever seen a woman give birth to a full-grown man? Or how about a killer alien that comes through cable TV? Maybe a farting muck monster created by two different directors who hate each other? No. Well, grab your popcorn and your anxiety medication, because today we're diving into 13 of the most insane B-movies the 80s have ever unleashed on unsuspecting video store customers. So get ready for practical effects, questionable acting choices, and more drug-fueled plot twists than a Miami Vice's writer's room. So I'm your host, Dan, coming at you from the deepest, darkest corner of my VHS collection. Have you ever wanted to watch a movie about diamond thieves where the main character's sister dies and is replaced by a surgically altered double? Of course you have. Well, White Fire is what happens when you let cocaine write your movie plot. The best part? They actually shot real arrows at the stunt people. The 80s, folks, when OSHA was just a suggestion. So Ennio Morricone, I hope I pronounced that right, scored this movie. Yes, that guy. The guy who did The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly somehow ended up scoring a film about a madman with a laser gun that makes people age rapidly. And this was shot in San Francisco with a budget that wouldn't even cover lunch today. It's like someone described a James Bond movie over a really bad phone connection. So picture the movie Airplane, but with more nose candy. This medical spoof turned Jekyll into a horny surgeon who transforms into a gold chain-wearing disco maniac. It's exactly what would happen if you let Saturday Night Live write a horror movie, which makes sense since the writer actually worked there. The 80s, man. What a time. So have you ever watched Alien and think, this needs more E.T.? Well, I mean, neither did anyone else, but here we are. A space crew finds a crystal that creates a killer alien that eventually becomes their friend. I'm not making this up. I mean, the best part, they spent most of their budget on the crystal effect, leaving about $12 for everything else. So this ABC TV movie is what happens when you mix Halloween, zombies, and a sock hop. LeVar Burton trades in his Reading Rainbow for a zombie costume, and there's a whole dance number to Get Dead. It's like High School Musical met Night of the Living Dead at a Halloween party, and somehow it actually works. So if Fast Times at Ridgemont High had a baby with a McDonald's training video, this would be it. So this was shot in actual defunct burger chain called Bovine University. I swear that this is real. It follows students learning to flip burgers. There's more nudity than a Porky's movie and less plot than a pizza commercial. Alright, so miners released turtle-like monsters in Colorado. And by the way, Stephen King actually recommended this one, proving that even horror masters occasionally enjoy the turtle demons. So fun fact, they built the creature's suits so poorly that they had to shoot most monster scenes underwater to hide how bad they looked. I mean, like, whatever works, right? So Rod Steiger stars in this genetic horror show about a scientist's son who discovers mom's been cooking up fish people in the basement, I guess. Academy Award winner Kim Hunter's in this too, proving that even Oscar winners had bills to pay back in the 80s. The practical effects are actually pretty incredible. They just blew most of the budget on the slime. So this beautiful mess had two different directors filming two different movies that got smashed together. It's like channel surfing between horror movies, but it's like all in just one film. We've got farting muck men, a killer grim reaper, and a werecat. The production was such a disaster that the original director never even got to finish his version. This film was shot by a bunch of Maryland locals on borrowed equipment. It's an alien rampage flick that features laser guns bought from a mail-order catalog and blood made from chocolate syrup. So director Don Dohler edited this in his basement while working a day job at the phone company. This is pure 80s DIY magic. This gem was made for $25,000 by a bunch of New Jersey horror fans. This has better practical effects than like movies with 100 times the budget. The monster was built in somebody's garage and the crew was paid in pizza. It's basically Alien if Alien shopped at Kmart, and I meant that as a compliment, by the way. From the same folks who brought us Reanimator comes this absolutely bonkers tale of an alien that comes to cable TV. It's got swingers, a heavy metal babysitter, and a monster that looks like it was designed by a kindergartner on a sugar rush. The set designer went on to work with Tim Burton, which explains so much. Holy mother. This British alien film is what happens when somebody watches E.T. and thinks, we need more body horror. It's got a woman giving birth to a full-grown man, a killer, life-size Action Man doll, and a scene that involves eggs that will put you off breakfast forever. Director Harry Bromley Davenport claims he made it while completely out of his mind, and yeah, that tracks. And there you have it, my friends. 13 pieces of pure 80s insanity that somehow made it past multiple studio executives. I'd love to know what you were smoking back then, but considering how these movies turned out, maybe it's better we just don't know. So speaking of things that should be buried in a vault, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing with your life? Hit the button like you're trying to fast forward through the scary parts of a horror movie. Drop me a comment below telling me your favorite bizarro 80s movie, or just tell me which of these films broke your brain the hardest. So this is Dan reminding you that the 80s, the only thing higher than hairstyles were the movie concepts. Stay radical, my vault dwellers.